What is the deal, my peeps? What's the deal? It's Sunday, 9:10 p.m. And feeling good. It was a pretty good day, pretty blessed day for the king. Always coming out on top. But not to boast or nothing. I'm gonna just spread the truth. Alright, so what do we have here? Alright, so I've been one sec. I've been kind of somewhat testing out Rumble, and I found a channel that I've been kind of looking for a while, and I didn't know that they have account. So I'm gonna show you guys the channel. These are just two of the channels that I found thus far. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of channels, and if you guys have any recommendations, put them in the subscription, or the comment section or whatever. But you can find me on Rumble too. I only have one video posted right now. I'm trying to link up my YouTube to Rumble, but I don't know how to do it. They're making it kind of difficult. So for some reason, it's not showing my following. What the fuck? Oh, I think I know why. Alright, let me see here. Sometimes when it connects to the Netherlands, it starts having problems. Alrighty. What the heck? Oh, there we go. So I'm following, it's Stranger Than Fiction Reloaded, Stranger Than Fiction News, and The High Wire. So this one has, like, I can't even play any of these videos. They'll get taken down. But this guy, he, like, pretty much talks about targeted individuals and just different kinds of stuff. He just exposes a lot of stuff. Also, The High Wire exposes a lot of stuff. If you guys have any other, or just check out Rumble, there's a lot of stuff that YouTube doesn't let you talk about, and you can talk about it on here. So that's one thing I wanted to talk about, just to, like, kind of rub it in these perps' faces and the government faces that there's still people out here talking truth, and, like, we're not gonna stop, and their coward acts are not gonna succeed. Their cowardice ways are not gonna succeed. So that's that. And also he talks about redacted.net, and I have the website here. I have it pulled up so you guys don't think it's, any type of spam or hack or whatever. I have it actually on here. Let's see where it's at right here. So I subscribe to the newsletter, and they're gonna send me just, information. So it's not .net, actually, my bad. It's redacted.inc. And I subscribed for the newsletter. It has just a bunch of news articles. I'm not sure, from, like, a private truther. I'm not sure exactly who's putting it out. I gotta look into it or whatever. So yeah, like, if you guys want the real news or stuff that they don't talk about, that has it right here. So you just go right here and then go to latest articles. And they have a bunch of stuff. Like every day they post stuff. So that's just, more truth for you right there. Let's see what else here. And then I got 2 more videos for you. Maybe 3. I don't want to play that one, but if you guys can see I'm going to pause it real quick. Hold on. If you guys can see that Rumble, try to check out that page.
What the F hashtag? Every single person. Never hang your. The number one.
Alright, they're already fucking with my shit. I'm gonna play it right now. Hold on. Whew. Okay, here we go. Come on, you piece of shit. Fuck.
Okay, so we've all seen these, right? We've all seen this in the sky. Most of us are like, what is going on? Well, there's this website, the Geoengineering International Interactive Map. It's at maps.geoengineeringmonitor.org. You can see the web address there. Here you have a map of the world. You can see all the projects that are going on. And on the right-hand side, it has all of the different classifications for these experiments or projects that they're doing. Here we have solar radiation management. And right here, the canceled, completed, ongoing, planned, whatever they're doing. 10 ongoing. This one, weather modification 59. And in other, they have 275 ongoing, 18 planned, 243 of them are major research projects. Like always, do your own research. Okay, so we've all seen the...
What the F hash is this? Ham on your supermarket shelf.
Oh yeah.
What the F hash is this? Ham on your supermarket shelves starts out like this. Big lumps of pork meat. To add taste, a little vegetable stock. It all goes into a ham-shaped mold, and it's cooked. And the result? Perfectly pink, rounded slices. Have you grasped the basics? Well, let's rewind a little to see the detail that changes everything. To obtain this fine ham, there's another very important step. You have to inject the meat. A machine with a dozen syringes injects a liquid into the lumps of pork meat. The liquid contains an essential additive. Factory manager Laurent Rouleau shows us. These yellow sacks contain a mixture of salt and sodium nitrite, the additive E250.
Le sel nitité sert à assurer la conservation.
So this has always been something that has like kind of I contemplated, like, how are they poisoning the food? How are they putting stuff in the food? So, the ones that are in control or whatever, obviously they're going to like try to regulate food and to put certain stuff in it. So this is an example. Like, who knows what they're actually putting in that? I don't know if it's tested. I'm pretty sure like they'll just pass it and be like, oh yeah, it's healthy for you or whatever. But this is how they're getting shit into the food. They're like putting certain things in our food and our meats and our whatever, all this stuff. I don't know if this is safe, if it's healthy for you or not. You got to do your own research. But I don't like it already.
Du jambon, à lutter contre des germes pathogènes et aussi de donner la couleur et le goût caractéristique de la charcuterie. Il va agir en donnant une coloration rosée en fait à la charcuterie.
What the F hash is. Well, the media sure is quiet about the G20 summit meeting that happened a couple of days ago, where leaders agreed to a vaccination passport system to be able to leave the country, including the United States, meaning we are no longer allowed to leave the country unless we have a vaccine passport. And they proposed the vaccine passports could be a digital code or an app that records and displays the user's health information, including COVID-19 vaccination status. Digital health passports. Digital passports would even let you know if you go outside the quarantine zone. Probably should say we'll let them know if you go outside the quarantine zone, but whatever. Well, the media. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to talk to a couple of you. My name is John Paul Rice. For the people watching that may not know who I am, my friends know me. I'm an independent film producer. I've been in Hollywood for about 20 years. I started my film career in Remember the Titans. Worked at Senator International, later Mandate Pictures, under the producers who did Juno, The Grudge, Harold and Kumar, Stranger Than Fiction, and eventually The Hunger Games when they went back into Lionsgate. This is a bigger problem because most people know in that world, and the world that I come from in Hollywood, that it is a hidden layer that everybody knows is there. When the Me Too movement started in 2017, I reached out to several of my female actress friends who were prominent in LA. You would know them by name. Many of them you would know by just their look, because you go, oh, that was her in that movie or that movie. And I said, well, what about the children? What about the children? And the response was, we know. But they were silent on it. And it destroyed me because it destroyed my illusion of what rights, human rights were, children's rights were. This is a child abuse system that we have been living in for a very long time, and it's been allowed to go on. And I will not be silent about this because it affects every single one of us. The people on television who smile at you, who tell you stories, who give you news, are the ones who hide all of this from us. They are not talking about the real issues. They are distracting you with division issues. This is a unification issue. When the Maxwell Files came out 48 hours ago, I went on MSNBC, I went on CNN.com, and I looked at every single one of their headlines, and there was no mention of it whatsoever. They were talking about John Lewis's funeral. They were talking about Obama versus Trump, all of the bullshit that you and I hear every single day. And it doesn't matter what side of the political equation you're on this. This is a child issue. This is a human issue. This is not a political issue. It has nothing to do with left versus right, Democrat versus Republican, liberal versus conservative, or anything you are or you identify with as in between. We are faced with a crisis of consciousness among the leadership of our banking institutions, of our media corporations, of the Hollywood entertainment industry, of the music industry. This is not about a bunch of young women who were having sex with older men and make it about a bunch of perverts. They raped and tortured these girls against their own free will, no matter whether they paid them or not. If you read the articles and you listen to what Ghislaine Maxwell said about the girls that she picked up in West Palm Beach's trailer parks, she was asked, what about the young girls? What are we going to do to them? What's going to happen to them? She said, they are trash. They are nothing. That's a direct quote from the New Yorker. When I went and looked at edge.org, which you can find out was a multi-billionaire club of people that was financed by Jeffrey Epstein, you can go to edge.org today, look up under people, and go to G. You'll see Bill Gates on there as a contributing member of that organization. And you'd have to go back in the Wayback Machine and Internet Archives to look at all the other people. Jeffrey Epstein was right on there. Marina Abramovich is on there. Paul Allen was on there. All the heads of major industries were on there. And if you start reading some of the articles, one of which I have a direct link to that I will share with anybody who DMs me, there is a direct quote on there that said, "Indeed, human beings are, in our youngest years, among the most useless creatures in all of the animal kingdom." This is how they view children, through science. This is their expression. These are people who have no ground to tell you what to think, what to do. So when they get up there and they start espousing their views on social justice or whatever the hell it is, know that you're hearing a controlled and scripted dialogue that is going through a filter by people who are very powerful, who hold a lot of money, and they are controlling and conditioning all of these people through pedophilia. And there's another layer to it, but it's too unbelievable to believe that they would also sacrifice kids. And I'll give you one statistic that you can look up and verify for yourself. If you go to UNICEF and you look up child sex trafficking or human trafficking, you'll find a statistic globally, worldwide, according to the United Nations, that 40 million people a year are trafficked around this world. 40 million. It's a $150 billion a year industry for which has very dark and ugly ties. And it goes all the way up into Wall Street and beyond. But I will say this, 5.5 million children every year are trafficked around the world. 5.5 million, most of whom don't live past age 7 or 8, which means they have to replenish that supply chain. They harvest organs of children on a black market. In China right now, there are concentration camps for young Muslims to the tune of 1 million people. Nobody's talking about this as modern day slavery. They are beating these people, they are re-indoctrinating them, and they are raping their wives to start a new bloodline. That's happening right now in China. You can find that on the Washington Post or the New York Times. Nobody else is saying anything about it in our politics or our mainstream news. Nobody's talking about it. It is slavery of human beings is going on today, and it must stop, and it is a child abuse issue. All of these kids that were preyed upon, many of them came from bad homes. That's not their fault.
Oh, crap. Okay, so all right, last video. This is in Antarctica. They got some pyramids.
This here is a base past the Antarctic walls, and right above it, you see a different planet. It could be Nibiru, or the backside of the moon, or it could be... I've heard multiple things that people have told me. I posted this video before where I got banned. Make sure to drop a comment, like, and follow.
So yeah, I mean, you guys already know about the system and the sex trafficking. They're abusing us with weapons, and they're abusing people sexually with weapons. You know, I've had people tell me that, you know, they'll get hit in certain areas of their body parts where, you know, they feel like they're being raped in their bed and stuff like that. And it's just like, I've never experienced it. I've experienced something like very, very minor, but the women, I think, are more like being sex trafficked against their will, as in like being targeted, because I've heard so many women tell me about their experiences and like how they've used energy weapons on them, and they felt forces and were forced upon by like an invisible thing. Like, I don't know if they're like using VR or like whatever the fuck systems that they're connected to. I don't know how it works exactly, but there's a lot of sick stuff that's going on, and it's not being accounted for. Obviously, you know, people that talk about this, any type of sex trafficking or human trafficking, end up dead all of a sudden. Like, especially if they find really critical information, or if they know too much, just like Epstein got supposedly hung in his cell, but we all know that it was just an energy attack, that they gave him a heart attack. John McAfee, he also was assassinated in jail and died of a heart attack, was running from the police, like, because of some shit that they were saying he did. But there's so many, like, a list of people you can go through, like people that are inventors, people that are natural healists, started dying in after 9/11, and like just all kinds of history, like where it's just we live in a messed up world, and they're hiding a lot of stuff from us, and they're doing a lot of stuff behind closed doors to kids and to adults. That's why they don't want this technology coming out, and that's why they refer to it as Havana syndrome. It's not from Havana, and it's not a fucking syndrome. All right, they're trying to not really bring too much to light about energy weapons, because they know if too much information gets out, that people are going to start to figure out what the fuck they're doing behind closed doors, and the cat's going to fucking come out of the bag. So then all their little control and their monitoring and shit like that, people are going to get their hands on the technology, or just be exposed, and it's going to cause problems for them. So that's why they're trying to be hush-hush about it, because that's their whole fucking bread and butter, all these fucking satellites in the sky. Also, I was thinking about looking up a satellite tracker. I know that there's a few apps out there. I haven't really tried them. There's also like stargazing apps that show you like certain satellites that are in the sky. But I kind of would want to track that as well. Like satellites that you can track. And just see, like, wherever you're at, and see if there's just satellites above you, and just like know which ones they are, and record that information, just like I record information about these planes that are flying over me. It's similar to that, just satellites, and we're taking into account which ones are there, if they're sitting up there, if they're just passing by. Like, I want to know what the fuck's around me, around your environment. You always gotta be aware of your environment. So yeah, peeps, this is just pretty much, some of this stuff is old news. Some of this stuff might come as new information, but I'm trying to share whatever I can to just help whoever's interested about learning the real truth, and not be a shield and a little puppet and a slave. Because that's what you choose to be, then that's your choice. Just don't consider me a fellow member of your fake ass system, because I will not consent. I do not give consent. I do not fucking cooperate with fucking savages and corrupt pieces of trash. Alright, so that's the end of this video. Peace, much blessings. Let's go.